Well, Adam, you spoke at half time about wanting to sharpen up the ball movement. Did you get what you wanted out of the second half?
Not particularly, no. No, I thought we were a bit clunky with the ball. I thought we gave the ball back a fair bit. I don't know what the back half turnovers for us ended up being, but I thought we allowed them to pin us in a little bit too much. I thought we had options to take that we either didn't see or chose not to take, and I thought Essendon were really good in the contest. Won those contests a lot and were able to sort of pin us in a bit. So no, I wasn't overly pleased. I mean, there were some moments, of course, but for the most part, I thought Essendon won that battle, the turnover battle.
You would have had to have living under a rock this week to not take in what they were going through with their injuries and the availability concerns. Did you address that with your players, and was it brought up and raised as to try and block that out of your mind?
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, we were aware that obviously they've been hampered by a lot of injuries and to a lot of good players too, and so that makes it difficult. So I wanted to make sure that we addressed any sort of complacency that we might have. As we saw tonight, it wasn't an easy game, and I don't think any game ever is. So I thought we were okay with that. I really liked our first half, particularly the stoppage work. So that suggested to me that we were ready to go. But yeah, they've been hampered by those injuries. It's hard to play when you're continually changing the team. So you kind of feel for them, but you make sure that you get the job done.
Speaking of the stoppage, Tom Green led the way in that department.
Yeah.
I think it was a career high 16 clearances for him tonight.
Yep. Yeah, I thought him and Briggsy connected really well. I thought Brigger was outstanding as well. And so that was a big driver for us in the first half. I think it was 6 goals to 2 maybe at half time. And, probably centre bounce let us down a little bit in the second half. I thought Essendon got on top, controlled centre bounces in the second half. But for the most part, I thought our stoppage game was quite good.
Was that probably the pivotal thing in the first half? Because Essendon, forward entries and the pressure was pretty high. They just couldn't get reward. Was the clearances the one aspect that really...
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I think we kicked 2 goals straight to their, I'm going to say, five behinds off turnover in the first half. So more shots. So the turnover stuff was, I thought we were beaten tonight with the turnover game.
That's been pleasing, like Jake was doing tonight, just not just with the footy, but just bring others into the game as well, and just the unselfish acts that he was a part of.
Yeah, certainly. I think that's been a bit of a trademark of his last month for us. He's been able to kick some miraculous goals, particularly that Gold Coast game, whenever that was, 4 weeks ago. But then the West Coast game, you saw a real selfless giving goals off where he had every right to take those shots, and then we saw that again tonight, running into open goal and handballs to a guy in the goal square. Can't remember, was it Max or someone like that. So I think we've been really pleased with him, his intent to chase, tackle, pressure. Feels like it's at a really good level. I think he creates some scores for us on the back of that, but we know when that ball's kicked to him, particularly when it's a low number contest, he's so hard to play on. He can win the ball in the air or on the ground. He took a beautiful mark. He's so hard to tackle. He creates scores for us.
Did you coach him any differently this week, coming up against the old boys?
No, not really. I mean, he's a very intelligent player. He sees the game well. He often has suggestions for me during the game to maybe we need to do this, or this isn't quite working. Maybe we need to shift. Whether it's a position on the field or the way that we're moving the ball or the way that we're defending. So I think he sees the game incredibly well. So he's a smart guy. He didn't need any coaching. He was quite nervous coming into the game, but I thought he played with a lot of respect and competed hard. Took a mark on one of his best mates, so I think he was pretty happy with that.
I saw you talking to Ben on the sidelines in the first quarter about stoppage setups. You ended up getting, I think, 38 points from your forward half stoppage. Yeah. Is there anything in particular you saw with maybe Vigo playing one of his first games that you were trying to exploit, or was that just trying to tighten up what you normally have?
I'm just trying to cast my mind back. It probably was the fact that we won 2 clearances in a row and they marked the ball behind because our forwards were too far away.
So it's the connection thing, because you had a few outs too. It's not just the Dons. You were missing, a few players.
But we were winning clearance, quick kick forward, and they mark it. So we want to keep the ball live. We don't want that to happen. So we made a slight adjustment at the stoppage there to try and minimise that. I think it worked, but I'm not sure.
So I think you've talked about in the past about being front half team versus a back half team. I think you scored 5 goals from back half turnovers versus I think 1 from front half. How do you translate that deeper game into like more of a short field one?
You win stoppages is important. Being able to transition the ball a little better than what we did tonight is important. How many forward 50 stoppages you have can add to front half turnover numbers. So there's a bulk of different things that add up to being a front half team. I think if you look at last week, I reckon we scored 5 goals from front half turnovers through the attacking mid zone against Geelong last week. So and less from the back half. Prior to that, we'd been heavy back half, not as much front half. So I think you just sort of play the game as it unfolds. I don't think we, as a summary tonight, I don't think our back half attack was good enough, and I don't think our front half defence was good enough.
Yeah, right. Is there something in that connection that back six? It's pretty set. I know Lex playing now. They're in being able to comfortably move that ball, like being set in roles.
No, they've been together for a while. I don't think it's an issue. I just think we were beaten in that aspect tonight.
Back on Jake, is he starting to show the reason why?
Who is it, sorry?
Jake, sorry.
Oh, Jake.
Just back on. Is he showing the reasons why you brought him over the club now in the last month or so?
Yeah. I mean, this is when we decided to bring him across. This is what we had in mind. He's going to contribute to our game both on offence and on defence. He's going to be able to kick goals for us, but he's going to create goals. And so he's been able to do that since the Gold Coast game.
No concerns with Jack Buckley. It was just tactical.
Yeah. No, he rolled his ankle against West Coast badly. He did a fantastic job to get up to play against the Cats last week, and then a 5-day break into this game. We thought we'd just try and give him a little bit extra. Now we've got an 8-day break into Sydney, so he's got plenty of time. Does it make a difference? An extra 40 minutes? I don't know. Maybe.
Do you expect Jesse and Josh to be available next week?
Jesse, Josh, Sam Taylor I expect to be available.
Any concerns over Kieran Briggs? It looked like the tackle that sent Sam down. Is there concerns he might be suspended? Or?
I haven't watched the replay, so it looked like a pretty reasonable tackle to me from where I was standing. But yeah, we'll wait and see.
A spot's getting tight in the forward line. You've got quite a few talls, and Jesse missed tonight. Are you going to run this tall into finals with sort of 4 tall key position forwards, or?
We usually only have 3. Your definition of tall might be different
Jake?
to mine. Yeah, I don't
Or
consider
Callum?
Jake tall. I think he's a bit more of a hybrid. I think he can play tall, play small, like Callum Brown, like Toby Green, really. So that's probably one of the reasons they're such difficult matchups. But we typically only play the 3. Max stepped in for Jesse tonight, as he did against West Coast when Jesse missed that game. Contributed with a couple of goals, and we think he's a very promising player. But yeah, Jesse, Hogan, and Riccardi and Cadman pretty much are the 3 that we've used for the most part.
And what did you think of Stephen's game back tonight?
Cornelio, look, I thought he had moments. Yeah, it's hard to assess. I mean, I thought he was okay. Had some really good pressure, step-in, tackle moments. Had some nice ball use. So, I mean, it's always going to be difficult for him first game back, getting back up to speed. He hasn't played since round 3, I think it was, against Hawthorn. So it's been a long time between drinks, but it's good to have him back.
You mentioned getting some of those guys back next week and getting back to full strength. Do you feel like you're primed to make a run now into September?
Well, I think so. I mean, it's we've still got a lot of work to do in order to qualify. It would appear that there's 9 teams who can make it, maybe 10 with the Swans, and we play them this week. And so we haven't beaten them for a little while. So we're pretty keen to rectify that, and we're looking forward to that game Friday night.
How much of a concern was percentage towards the end of the game, making sure that you're in the spot
Yeah.
to be if teams end up on 14 or 15 wins?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be important, and we're one of the lower ranked percentage teams. I don't know what the percentage increase tonight was for us, but it'll come down. I mean, I think we're a long way away from some of those other teams in terms of percentage, perhaps Gold Coast and Geelong, so maybe that's too much to make up, I'm not sure, but it'd be nice to get more percentage, but if we keep winning.
Do you reckon it's the right way to decide this is a tough question, the right way to decide the last couple of spots, because those blowouts at the end can get a bit, the crowd towards the end got a bit smaller. Is that the right way that we should do it, or should we be looking at head-to-head tie breaks? Or
I have no idea. I haven't thought about it. You know, you're right. You play some teams twice. There's a lot of luck in this game. I think. You know, we play Essendon tonight, who are far from full strength. If they're full strength, maybe they'll actually beat us, like they have the last two times we've travelled to Marvel and played them the last 2 years. And so you always get lucky in terms of injuries, form, whenever you play them, conditions. So I don't know about percentage, but I'm sure people will discuss it.